Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of high school football here on Eagle Pass Sports Central, live on Facebook and YouTube. My name is Ruben Valadez, and we are coming to you live this evening from Southwest Legacy Stadium in San Antonio, near to Von Army, where the Winn Mavericks have come in to face the Southwest Legacy Titans in district action as we head towards the home stretch of the district season. 3 games left for the Mavericks this season. So we look down on the field. The officials are gathering for the meeting of the team captains. My broadcasting partner, Morris Lutzen Jr., is not with us today. We want to wish him the best up in College Station, where he's got a class reunion for him and his fellow ex-alumni, ex-Aggies. And we hope Morris and Dor are both doing well up in College Station. Here come the teams to midfield for the opening coin toss. We've just had the national anthem downfield. Down below, it's senior night here tonight for the Legacy Titans, who come into this game at 3-4 overall, 3-2 in district, though. They've only lost in district to Cigarroa and Southside. They've got 3 victories in district against Medina Valley, Martin High School, and South San. We'll take a look downstairs for the pregame coin toss. Mavericks wearing their road white unis, white tops, white pants, and the white helmets. Of course, October is Cancer Awareness Month, so you'll see the Mavericks with those pink socks and pink logos on their helmets. The Mavericks have won the toss. They've elected to defer, and so the Legacy Titans now will receive the ball to open the ball game. Beautiful facility, not an old stadium here at Southwest Legacy High School. Very nice campus, nice stadium, a couple of years old here out in the Von Army area in Bexar County. And we are just about ready to get underway here down below with the kickoff. The Mavericks, of course, come in looking for their first victory of the season. They've got 3 games left in district play and in the season. They've got this game tonight against Legacy. They'll play Martin next week back home, and the week after that they'll be back up here in San Antonio against San Antonio Southside, and that should round out the season. For the Mavericks, it's been a tough one so far. We've talked to Coach Eric Villaseñor at the pregame shows and the prediction shows here on Eagle Pass Sports Central, and this staff keeps working, and these kids keep working. They've got a lot of heart. Boy, they lost a real heartbreaker last week against Cigarroa down there in Eagle Pass, a 34-33 loss. The closest they came, the most points this Maverick offense has scored. And we think that they found something here on the edges in that passing game with Jeremiah Robinson and all of their offensive weapons. We'll see if the Mavericks will do the same here today. But they're going to be on defense here tonight. Andres Rodriguez ready to kick off from the 40-yard line. 2 men back deep to receive for the Titans, standing at around the 10. It's a short kick. It'll be fielded by one of the up men at the 24-yard line, and it'll be brought near to the 40-yard line. That's number 1, Jeremiah Cifuentes, with the return. And the Titans are going to set up, moving right to left on your screen at the 39-yard line. Thank you so much for joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central, live here from San Antonio. Mavericks against the Titans. Of course, the Eagles were down in Laredo last night against LBJ. 49-7 victory down there to keep their undefeated streak alive. Here come the Titans from the 39-yard line. Man in motion across the formation here to the near side. This is a handoff to Fernando Flores, who's the leading rusher for this Titan team. And Flores will get all the way to the 44-yard line. Gain of 5 yards on the play. And the Titans will face a 2nd and 5 here on the second play of this opening drive for them. Again, from the shotgun is Fabian Ramos. Ramos hands off again to Fernando Flores. Flores will be about a yard shy of the first down to the 48-yard line. Again, 4 yards on the carry. And the Maverick defense now faces a 3rd and 1. Just underway, 7 o'clock kickoff here from Southwest Legacy Stadium, home of the Titans. Big Fabian Ramos from the shotgun, keeps it himself, and the Maverick defense is right on top of him. Humberto Munoz with the tackle back here at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 3, and it's going to be a 4th and 4 now. The Maverick defense has held on the first Titan drive of the ballgame. On comes the punting team for Southwest Legacy. Jeremiah Cifuentes, the man who returned the kickoff, will be there for this punt. Back here, Jonathan Salayandia at about the 20-yard line, along with Alan Alonso standing at about their own 18. Here is the snap. Flags fly. Before then, we'll see if this was some movement on the line. It looks to be early on against the Titans. There's the false start signal from the referee, and it'll move him back 5 more yards here to the 40-yard line. And Legacy will punt from there. Still 2 men back here to receive for the Mavericks, standing at about their own 20-yard line. The Maverick defense with a great job on the opening drive of the ballgame against the Titans. Cifuentes ready to receive the snap. He'll kick that off. It's going to be bounce at the 20, and then take a Maverick bounce for about 2 yards all the way to the 22-yard line. That was indeed Alan Alonso back there waiting for that kick. And the Mavericks now will start at their own 22. And we're going to see now what this Maverick offense has in store. We saw them, again, score the most points they had all season long last week against Cigarron. They did it using some of their skill position players on the edges. That's Jeremiah Robinson, along with Fernando Vasquez there. We'll see what Abiel Cardona, the Maverick quarterback, can do here. First offensive drive of the ballgame for the Mavericks. Cardona into shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side. He'll take the snap. He'll roll left. There's the pass, and it is just off the fingertips of the intended receiver at undue pace over on the left flat. Clock will stop on the incompletion, and the Mavericks now will have a 2nd and 10. From the 22-yard line. 9:57 left here in the first quarter. Just underway, 7 o'clock kickoff from Southwest Legacy Stadium. The Titans have had the ball once already, came up short. The Mavericks stopped them on a 3rd down conversion attempt, and now the Mavericks on offense have a 2nd and 10 from the 22-yard line. Cardona into shotgun again. We'll have 3 receivers over to the far side. Jeremiah Robinson in the backfield with him. Movement along the line, no flags. Cardona rolls left looking for someone downfield. Pump fakes once and then is taken out of bounds over on the far sideline at the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3 yards. And so the Mavericks now on the quarterback keeper will have a 3rd and 7 and will look to convert to keep their opening drive of the ball game going. The clock does stop as Cardona went out of bounds. 9:48 left on the clock over to our right. Again, Abiel Cardona into shotgun. This time he'll have 3 receivers here to the near side. Ball on the far hash mark. The snap, quick pump left, and then the pass is caught by Pace at the 32-yard line. And at undue pace with a great job. Ball came loose, but the officials, I believe, are saying that the ball was down, that the runner was down. And that's enough for a first down at the 34-yard line. Great pass. Undue pace just sat there in the zone. And Cardona did a great job of looking around, keeping his eyes downfield, more importantly. And he found that soft spot in the zone right there at about the 33. Pace took it all the way to the 34-yard line where it's going to be a Maverick first down. And the Mavericks, with 9.5 minutes left here in the first quarter, have a little rhythm going. Here comes Cardona into the huddle with the play call. Cardona in the shotgun. He's got Jeremiah Robinson in the backfield with him. There's the snap. Looks that way. Quick pass caught by Robinson on the ground, then picks it up. And they're going to call that incomplete. And so it'll be a 2nd and 10 now for the Mavericks back here at the 34-yard line. A very dangerous pass into the left flat from Cardona over to Jeremiah Robinson. First of all, because it was inches away from getting picked off by a Titan defender, and then because Jeremiah Robinson didn't have a sure handle on it as he was trying to move upfield. 9:07 left in the first quarter, still scoreless. This is the Mavericks' first drive of the ball game. They face a 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Cardona again from the shotgun will take the snap. Here's a keeper, bounces left, has a little room, trying to turn the corner, gets across the 35, and he'll be brought down at the 37-yard line, a gain of 3 yards on the carry. And again, the Mavericks will have a 3rd and 7 looking to convert here to keep their opening drive of the ball game going. We mentioned it earlier. Pretty facilities here. You'll see some tennis courts off in the distance from our vantage point here in the press box. Lovely looking baseball field over to our left. 8:36 left in the first quarter. As the Mavericks come to the line of scrimmage, the 37. Cardona from the shotgun will take the snap. Pump fakes right. Comes again. Looking for Arandu Pace on the same play. This time Pace is hit hard by Jaden Gill, senior defensive back, and Pace is still on the ground there at the 40-yard line. Now he'll get up on his feet and go to the far side of the field. It's that same play they tried to convert with on a previous 3rd and 7, with Arandu Pace just sitting there in the zone. This time, though, Gill read it from his position in the defensive secondary and came in and really knocked the ball loose out of Pace's reach. We have a clock stoppage down below. The referee will let us know what that's about with 8:09 left here in the first quarter. They've added time to the clock. They've added 8:22. Mavericks will punt off. Jeremiah Cifuentes. Actually, that looks to be low snap. Punt goes off from Gabriel Valderas, and then it's muffed at the 34-yard line, and the Maverick coverage team is right there on top of it. We're going to see if the Mavericks were able to recover this muff punt. No, it's going to be a Titans ball there at the 35-yard line. A very dangerous play there. Nate Ibarra with the return, and the ball hit the ground. The Maverick coverage team tried to get on top of it, but Ibarra managed to get that back. The ball now is at the 35-yard line. That is where the Titans will start their second drive of the ball game with 8:13 left in the first quarter. Fabian Ramos in the shotgun with one receiver on either side of the formation. The handoff again to Fernando Flores, and he gets stood up by the rushing Maverick defense. A bunch of Maverick defenders there on the tackle. They're going to make him lose a yard back here to the 34, 2nd and 11. Two predominantly running teams here, so the clock should move rather quickly here tonight. 8:03 left now in the first quarter, and this is the Titans' second offensive drive of the ball game. Again, Fabian Ramos is in the shotgun. He's going to move a man here to the near side. The toss is to him. He's going to try to turn the corner, and again, the Maverick defense gashing through into the backfield, and there for the tackle. That's Luis Leos and Humberto Munoz in on the tackle. We'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no further the 34. It's a 3rd and 11 now for the Titans. Ball on the near hash mark. Ramos in the shotgun with two receivers on either side of the formation. He'll drop back to pass, looking downfield. There's the pass. He's got a man open. The pass is dropped by Marquis Collins, who had a step on his defender over at about the 30-yard line. That was an excellent pass by Fabian Ramos. Put it right in there. And that ball just through the hands of the streaking receiver, Marquis Collins. And the Mavericks can breathe a sigh of relief. They force a 4th down and 11 here. And the Titans will look to punt. Cifuentes coming back on the field to punt. Back here again. Salayandia and Alan Alonso to receive at the 30-yard line. High punt. Salayandia will call for a fair catch, and on his fingertips is able to bring it in at the 33-yard line. So it's a field position battle so far in the first quarter, and the Mavericks are winning it. They're having good starting field position. Started their previous drive at the 22-yard line. We go 10 yards up now, and the Mavericks start this drive at the 32-yard line with 7:04 left in the first quarter. The Mavericks had one first down in that first drive. A nice pass to Arandu Pace, and we'll see what they do here on their second drive of the ball game. We haven't seen Jeremiah Robinson run the ball out of the backfield yet. We'll see if that happens on this drive. Ball is on the near hash mark. Cardona will be under center this time with a loaded backfield, 3 backs behind him. Here's the toss to Jeremiah Robinson. He'll try to turn the corner down here on the near sideline and gets to about the 35-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds there by Juan de la Rosa, the senior linebacker. 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 coming up now for the Mavericks, and that, right on cue, was Jeremiah Robinson's first touch of the ball game, coming out of the backfield, that is, as on a little toss over to the right. 6:57 left in the first quarter. Again, the ball will be on the near hash mark as the Mavericks come to the line of scrimmage. Same formation, Cardona under center with a loaded backfield behind him and one man split out wide right. Here is a handoff to Arandu Pace. Pace will get a couple of yards, and he's back at the 35-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a 3rd and 7 now for Arandu Pace. And the Mavericks, 6:41 left in the first quarter, still scoreless. This is the Mavericks' second drive of the ball game. The Mavericks, of course, still looking for their first victory this season. Came so close last week against Cigarroa down home. They were energized. They were pumped up. They had a lot of heart. They left it out all on the field. Just not enough. And a 34-33 loss to the Cigarroa Toros. But they've come in here with a good attitude, and again, we expect them to do the best here. 5 men across the formation for Cardona. All alone in the backfield. He's going to keep it himself. He's got room up the middle, gets to the 40, bounces off another tackler, and they're going to mark him a yard shy of the first down, although the official down here is marking him at the 41. He needed the 42 to get the first down. It's at about the 41 and a half is where this ball is, and we're going to see if they'll have a measurement here. Beautiful run by Cardona, who spread out that Titan defense, and they're going to say he's just that short. We'll see what the Maverick coaching staff decides to do here on a 4th and about a half a yard. Under 6 minutes left now, 5:57 in the first quarter, and the Mavericks have a decision to make. Do I have a time down on the field? I don't know if this is coming from the offense from the Mavericks. 5:55 left in the first quarter. And it looks like the Mavericks are going to let this clock wind down and then call a timeout here as they near zeros. There might be an issue with the clock. Referees telling us now that the Mavericks will call the first timeout of the half while they talk over this 4th and inches. And on come the Mavericks on a 4th, about a half a yard with 5:55 left here in the first quarter. And they will try to convert this 4th down. This is the second Maverick offensive drive of the ball game. Still scoreless here with under 6 minutes. They'll wind the clock now, and the Mavericks will come to the line of scrimmage, which is the 41 and a half. I mean, it's just, they've got to get to the 42 here to get a first down. Again, Cardona under center with 3 backs in the backfield behind him. It's a keeper. There's a quarterback sneak, and Cardona's going to move the pile all the way. That's plenty for the first down. The far officials marking him down at the 45, the near officials standing at the 43-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 45, and the Mavericks will have a first down and a fresh set of downs from there. Good job of that Maverick offensive line of moving the pile forward on a sneak, and Cardona did the rest himself, kept his legs churning, and got the Mavericks a first down to the 45. We want to thank you so much for joining us here on Eagle Pass Sports Central with 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter as the Mavericks are here in San Antonio facing the Southwest Legacy Titans. Here's Cardona from the shotgun, rolling right, looking downfield. Pass is overthrown and incomplete down on the near sideline, intended for number 11, Juan Gonzalez. The Mavericks will come back to the line of scrimmage, the 45. It'll be a 2nd and 10. Cardona will go over and talk to head coach Eric Villaseñor across the way. We've got 5 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first quarter and a 7 o'clock kickoff time here from Southwest Legacy Stadium. Clock stops. And Cardona now will have 5 men across the formation, and he'll be all by himself in the backfield. Again, a quarterback draw. Goes to the left side of the line. It's got room, and then is tackled as he reaches and crosses midfield to the 48-yard line. A good carry there. It's the second time we've seen that. Empty backfield, men all across the formation, and Cardona spreading that defense out, has room up the middle to run. He did it there, and it's going to be now a 3rd and 3. But the Mavericks are now in Titan territory at the 48-yard line. Abiel Cardona leading the way with his legs in this game so far. Cardona is averaging about 48.5 rushing yards per game. Ball on the far hash mark at a 3rd and 3 for the Mavericks. Cardona in the shotgun. Drops back, setting up a little screen for Jeremiah Robinson, and Robinson makes the catch, stretches the ball out to try to get a first down at the 45-yard line. They're going to mark him again about a yard shy at the 46. Nice little screen pass there to Jeremiah Robinson, who was just tripped up from behind. The Mavericks now have a 4th and 1 from the near hash mark. The Maverick offense is staying on the field. 4 minutes exactly left here in the first quarter. The Mavericks and the Titans still scoreless. Here comes a play from the sideline. The Mavericks are probably going to call another timeout, it looks like here, as they let the play clock wind down. And right as the play clock reaches 0, Coach Eric Villaseñor calls a timeout, the second one of the half for the Mavericks. And with 3:40 left, scoreless, the Mavericks will come back and try another 4th down conversion. .340 left in the first quarter. And again, out of a timeout, the Mavericks looking to convert on a 4th and 1. This one a little longer than the one before. The other one was about a half a yard. This one looks to be a full yard. The nose of the football is at the 46-yard line. The Mavericks have to get to the 45 to convert on this 4th down. Again, Cardona will be under center with 3 backs in the backfield behind him. This time it's a toss to Arandu Pace, who's going to try to turn the corner on the far side of the field, and he'll be dragged down about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 yards, and the Titans will take over on downs. The previous 4th down, the Mavericks went north and south with that quarterback sneak. This time they tried to get Arandu Pace on a toss in the backfield to swing the corner over on the far side of the field, but the Titan defense was right on him, and so the Titans will take over now at their own 48-yard line near midfield. And we talked about it earlier. This is a field position battle. Fabian Ramos in the shotgun. He's going to move a receiver over to the far side of the field. It'll be a counter for Fernando Flores. Flores gets stood up at midfield, but he'll keep grinding and move the pile forward into Maverick territory all the way to the 47-yard line. Again, Fernando Flores is the lead rusher on this Titan team, and he's had the bulk of the carries here this evening. It's going to be a 2nd and 5 now for the Titans, as we've had this battle play out in between the 30s, really, here today. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's another handoff for Flores, looking to escape a Maverick tackler. Someone wraps around him as he crosses the 45. Maverick tacklers there, Luis Leos and Dimas Perez to stop Flores. It's going to be a 3rd and 2 now from the 44-yard line. Again, Ramos in the shotgun. The pass here is caught by Cifuentes at the 38, and he's got room downfield, room to run. There goes Cifuentes, and he's going to go into the end zone for the Southwest Legacy touchdown. Jeremiah Cifuentes coming out of the slot here on the left side in single coverage. Once he caught that ball, all he had to do was turn around, and there was no help for that Maverick secondary back there. Cifuentes turned on the jets, and it is a 44-yard touchdown from Fabian Ramos to Jeremiah Cifuentes to put the Titans on the board first here with 2:19 left in the first quarter. Jesse Zapata will come on for the point after attempt. High snap. The hold is good, though. The kick is on its way and through the uprights. 2:19 left in the first quarter. Titans up 7-0 over the Mavericks. With 2:19 left in the first quarter, the Titans have scored first here. 7-0 is their lead now over the Mavericks. And there will be 3 men back here to receive this kickoff. That's Juan Gonzalez here nearest to us. Fernando Vasquez also back here awaiting the kick. Vasquez will field it at the 20-yard line, looking for room over on the far side of the field, and he'll get stood up as he nears the 30-yard line at the 28. So the Mavericks will set up shop there with 2:13 left in the first quarter, down 7-0. Mavericks have established a little bit of offensive rhythm when they've had the ball, mostly with Cardona running it, but a couple of good passes there to Arandu Pace, little screen pass to Jeremiah Robinson, and Robinson also had some luck coming out of the backfield. We'll see what they do here. Ball on the far hash mark at the 28-yard line. Cardona is in the shotgun with 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Jeremiah Robinson on his left. Quick pass to Fernando Vasquez. Caught, and Vasquez looking for some room on that slip screen. Is going to get pushed back. They'll give him forward progress to the 30-yard line. 2 yards on the catch for Arandu Pace. And it's going to be a 2nd and 8 now for the Mavericks with just under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. 7 o'clock kickoff time here at Southwest Legacy Stadium. Tomorrow, by the way, the Thundering Maverick Band will be here in San Antonio for area marching competition. We were with them this morning, and we wish them the best of luck as they come up to area marching competition tomorrow up there at Rutledge Stadium. Here's Cardona on a 2nd and 8, dropping back to pass, looks this way. The pass is on its way, and it's caught by Gonzalez at the 38-yard line. They'll give him the 39, and that's good enough for a Maverick first down. That's impressive by Cardona because he had to come all the way across the field. Gonzalez started over on the left side of the formation, came all the way down here to the numbers, and Cardona found him here for a Maverick first down. Good arm there by Abiel Cardona. Again, if you're a team that's looking to see what the Mavericks bring in, you're going to key in on Jeremiah Robinson. You see them a mostly running team, but we've seen them open up the offense a little bit more here today, and they found success. Under a minute left now in the first quarter, and Cardona again in the shotgun with the ball on the near hash mark. Pumps to the left, now takes the ball down, and he'll keep it himself. He'll get stood up at the line of scrimmage by a couple of Titan defenders. That's Fabian Salazar and Jose Telles with the stop there. It's going to be a loss of about a yard back here to the 38-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd and 11 now for the Mavericks on that quarterback keeper. Under 30 seconds remain in the quarter. The play clock and the game clock are almost identical. The play clock might be about a second or so ahead of the game clock. Cardona in the shotgun now with 3 receivers over to the far side, one split out wide right. Pass over the left, again a little screen for Fernando Vasquez. Vasquez makes the catch, looks to weave his way through the Maverick defense. He's at the 40, stiff arms a man at the 39, still on his feet as he crosses midfield and into Titan territory. Fernando Vasquez all the way to the Titan 47-yard line on a screen that started over on the far side of the field, and Vasquez managed to evade a bunch of Titan defenders and then bring the ball all the way to this side of the field. That will be the last play of the first quarter. We'll switch sides of the field quickly, and the Mavericks are going to have a 1st and 10. Again, what's working? Well, opening that offense wide, spreading the Titan defense from, as they call it, sideline to sideline. You make them cover the whole side of the field, and with these weapons, we've seen Fernando Vasquez, Jeremiah Robinson, and Juan Gonzalez already with the ball in their hands, able to do something good for the Mavericks. Mavericks now on the Titan side of the field at the 46-yard line, face a 1st and 10. We're in the second quarter now, just underway. Titans have a 7-0 lead. Cardona from the shotgun with Jeremiah Robinson on his left. He'll drop back to pass, pumps that way. The pass comes intended for Juan Gonzalez. There is a flag on the play. Nate Ibarra was there in coverage against Juan Gonzalez at about the 42-yard line. We saw little grab there right before the ball got to Gonzalez, and we'll see if this is a call against the Titan defensive back. 11:55 left in the first half. The referee will give us the sign that it is indeed a pass interference. It's going to go against the Titans, so the Mavericks are going to get a first down on that penalty step off from about the 46-yard line, and the ball will end up over here at the 37 now. Penalty will move the chains. It'll be a first down from the 37-yard line for the Mavericks. Cardona from the shotgun now. We'll have 2 receivers across the formation, on either side rather, and Jeremiah Robinson on his right. Drops back to pass. Pump fakes right once and then gets tripped up and sacked all the way back here near midfield at the 49-yard line. Number 34, Juan de la Rosa, the senior linebacker, gashing through and in the backfield. And Cardona was in a bunch of trouble there, got tripped up. 11:35 left in the first half, and the Mavericks now have a 1st and 22 all the way back here near midfield at the 49-yard line. An unfortunate sack there as the Mavericks had found some offensive rhythm and they were on the move. Cardona again from the shotgun, moves at undue pace in motion. The little flip is to him. He'll try to get north and south, does so there. And he gets inside the 45-yard line to the 43. Gets back some of that penalty yardage, but it's still now going to be a 3rd and very long from the 43-yard line in Titan territory. You have to wonder here if this is 4-down territory. Maybe you don't need to get all of the yards here on 4th down. And if in this part of the field, the Maverick coaching staff will decide to take 2 shots at getting a 1st down. We've got 10:35 left here in the second quarter. The Mavericks trail 7-0 and looking to convert here on a 3rd and long. Cardona into shotgun, ball on the far hash mark. 3 receivers all bunched up there on the right side. There is the pass. It's caught by Sebastian Vasquez at the 34-yard line. He'll be stopped immediately there, and this is what we had just talked about. You wonder, now are the Mavericks going to keep their offense on the field? There is a flag on the play over on the far side of the field on the far sideline, and the official will come here. It's a sideline violation against the Mavericks. The ball will stay where it is at the 34-yard line. So 4th and 7 now for the Mavericks after that catch by Vasquez. And again, we called it on a 3rd and long, and this portion of the field doesn't make much sense to punt, doesn't make much sense to try a very long field goal. The Mavericks, again, are going to wait till the play clock winds down, and they'll call their final timeout of the first half with 9:48 left in the first half. Titans 7, Mavericks 0. Mavericks just used their last timeout. Ball is at the 34-yard line. The Mavericks have a 4th and 7 from there. They've converted on 1 4th down in this ball game already on a quarterback sneak from the quarterback, Abiel Cardona. This time, Cardona will be in a shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side and 1 split out wide left. There is the snap. He'll drop back. He's got defensive pressure in his face, rolling left. They're going to catch him from behind for a sack back here at the 49-yard line. Oliver Mendoza, the sophomore linebacker there, putting the pressure on Cardona, and on a huge loss, the ball goes over on downs. The Titans will take over at their own 40-yard line after that sack, their own 48-yard line, rather, after that sack. Just under 10 minutes left here in the first half, and the Titans will get the ball again after a 3-play 53-yard drive on their previous possession. Ball is at the 48. Carry by Flores here, who gets into Maverick territory at the 49. Going to be a 2nd and about 7 now from the 49-yard line. Clock continues to roll under 10 minutes. The Maverick defense trying to hold here against this Titan offense. Fabian Ramos in the shotgun will take the snap. Drops back. Here comes the Maverick pressure. They're going to sack him. Back here inside the 44. The ball is on the ground, and the Mavericks have recovered the fumble. No call officially yet from the officials. Now they'll call it for the Mavericks, and they are in business inside the 45 at the 43-yard line. On the 2nd play of that drive for the Titans, the Maverick defense comes up big. Humberto Munoz, who's been in the backfield all day for the Mavericks, comes in and makes that sack, strips the ball. And the first turnover of the ball game helps the Mavericks, who now have the ball in Titan territory at the 43-yard line. The Mavericks have 9 minutes and 1 second left here in the first half. to try to get the ball in the end zone and tie this game up. Cardona will be in the shotgun, two receivers on either side of the formation, and Jeremiah Robinson on his left. It's a keeper for Cardona, who again gets caught in the backfield. Knifing in there is Roland Segovia with the tackle, and that's a loss of a bunch of yards all the way back to this side of the 45. They'll mark him down at the 46-yard line, a loss of 3 yards on the sack. And you get the feeling now that the Titan defense is starting to key in on Cardona, who's had a lot of runs so far in this ball game. We'll see. They'll start handing off to Robinson out of the backfield, or maybe some of those quick passes on the edges again to Vasquez and at undue pace. Under 8.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. The Mavericks, after the fumble recovery, have a 2nd and 13. Cardona steps up in the pocket, and he'll get grabbed by the ankles, brought down right at midfield. Number 34, Juan de la Rosa, who again has been troublesome for the Mavericks all game long, in on that tackle as well. The ball is at the 49-yard line, a loss of 3 yards on the second consecutive sack for the Titan defense. Now makes it a 3rd and 17 for the Mavericks near midfield. A drive that started inside the 45-yard line after the fumble recovery, and the Mavericks going in the opposite direction here with 7.5 minutes left in the first half. Cardona from the shotgun again. Will take the snap. Drops back. Offensive line holds up. Long pass down here intended for Vasquez, and it's intercepted at the 15-yard line by René Robles Martinez. And Robles Martinez has room. Now cuts to the middle of the field at midfield, and finally tripped up as he gets inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. On the second turnover of the ball game, each of these teams now has a turnover, a fumble for the Titans, and that interception caught all the way down here at the 20-yard line by René Robles Martinez, and he did a good job of weaving his way through the Maverick offense to get into Maverick territory. The line of scrimmage now will be the 43-yard line. Sideline officials coming down, putting a flag back in his pocket. No call yet. The Titans will set up shop now at the 43-yard line after that interception return. 7:09 left in the first half. Here's a Wildcat formation with Flores in the backfield. Fernando Flores took the direct snap there and moved it right through the middle of the Maverick defense. It should be enough for a Titan first down inside the 35 at the 33-yard line. Something we hadn't seen before, a straight snap to their lead running back, Flores. And again, Flores is going to be in position to receive the snap with a wingman on his left. Right up the middle of the formation goes Flores again inside the 30 to the 28-yard line, a gain of 5 yards on the carry. And all of a sudden, the Titans have decided we don't need a quarterback. We'll just have our running back take the snaps and move forward with under 6.5 minutes left here in the first half. The Mavericks are down 7-0, and the defense looking to hold again here as the Titans are threatening in Maverick territory. Again, Flores will be in the backfield ready to take the direct snap. There it is. He'll keep it himself. He's got room up the middle, and he's tripped up as he reaches the 20-yard line. Again, good enough for a Titan first down. And this Wildcat formation seemingly doing the job against the Maverick defense. Ball's at the 20-yard line. Another first down there for the Titans. Flores again remains in that Wildcat formation. This time he hands off to the running back, number 21, Javian Salazar, and Salazar gets near the 15 to the 16-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on that carry for Salazar, makes it a 2nd and 6 now. And the Titans moving quickly in this new Wildcat formation. Of course, we haven't seen Flores throw out of it. It's been all running from the time the Titans have gotten the ball back after that interception. Flores again is in the backfield. He'll keep it himself And he's going to be brought down at about the 13-yard line, 2 yards shy of a first down, 3 yards shy, third and 3 now. And the Titans have decided on this drive that they are going to pound it into that Maverick defense and try to score that way. 4:52 left in the second quarter. The Maverick defense trying to hold on. No timeouts left for the Mavericks. Again, the handoff to Salazar, and this time the Maverick defense is on top of him. Isaac Maldonado in on the tackle. And no gain there. We'll bring up a 4th and 3 at the 13-yard line for the Titans. They're going to call a timeout, their first of the half, with 4:29 left here in the first half. Titans up 7-0, looking to convert on a 4th down when we come back. Titans face a 4th and 3 as the Maverick defense on the spot trying to stop a 4th down conversion with 4:29 left here in the first half, and a tight game, 7-0 as we near the end of the half. The Maverick defense has kept the Mavericks in this game with a fumble recovery on the previous drive. And out comes the field goal kicking team for the Titans. It's going to be about a 30-yard field goal. They'll put it down at the 20. Bad snap. The kick, though, is up and good through the uprights. Jesse Zapata with the kick puts 3 points on the board for the Titans, and the score now with 4:26 left in the first half. Southwest Legacy Titans 10, Mavericks 0. Ten to nothing is the score now in favor of the Southwest Legacy Titans. 4:26 left in the first half. The Mavericks will get the ball back here. 3 men back there. That's Gabriel Valderas, Juan Gonzalez, and Fernando Vasquez to receive what's a short kick fielded at the 29-yard line over on the far side of the field by Asdrubal Ruiz. And with 4:20 left, the Mavericks will try to put some points on the board. The Mavericks did win the toss pregame, chose to defer, so they'll get the ball back first in the second half. If the Mavericks can go down here, score, and then get the ball back first in the second half, they could make this a game. 10-0 for now is the Titan lead over the CC Winn Mavericks, looking for their first win of the season here in San Antonio. Ball is on the far hash mark at the 32-yard line. Cardona in the shotgun will take the snap. Toss to Jeremiah Robinson here on the left side. Robinson has room at the 40. Still on his feet as he reaches the 45. Will be brought down at the 44-yard line. Holding on there for the Titans. Oliver Mendoza, the linebacker. They're going to spot this ball at the 45. Good enough for a Maverick first down. 4:02 left in the first half. The Mavericks trying to get on the board here in what is their 5th drive of this ball game. Cardona will come in with the play call now. From the shotgun now, he'll have 2 receivers over to the far side, a wingman on the right, and Jeremiah Robinson in the backfield with him. Quick pass over to the far side, caught by Juan Gonzalez, looking to navigate around the Titan defense, and he does so, getting to the 49-yard line. A gain of 4 yards on the little catch and carry for Juan Gonzalez. 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Mavericks. And that's where they've lived, and that's where they found success this season. 2 weeks ago against South Sand, last week against Cigarroa, and early on this week. On the edges with quick passes and letting their skill position guys do the job. 3:09 left now. No timeouts left for the Mavericks. Cardona from the shotgun. Here's another toss to the near side to Jeremiah Robinson. Gets past one defender and is inside the 45 and out of bounds. The clock will stop as Robinson goes out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and a gain of 7 yards is enough for a Maverick first down. And as we've seen a couple of times already in this game, the Mavericks getting into a little offensive rhythm here. They've got to keep moving the ball and using those edges. 2:57 left. Ball on the near hash mark. Fernando Vasquez split out wide left here, and the other Vasquez over on the far right side. Cardona rolls to the right side. Now he's going to get stepped up, and he's going to get sacked all the way back here. Juan de la Rosa, who's just been a menace all night long, with another sack. And now the Titans will try to save some time and will call a timeout here with 2:47 left. The ball is all the way back here at the 33-yard line after that sack, a loss of 11. The ball is back in Maverick territory at the 47-yard line after the huge loss on a sack for Abiel Cardona. 2:47 left here, 2nd and 21 now for the Mavericks. And the Mavericks have found themselves in this position several times already in this ballgame. Here's Cardona all by himself in the backfield with 5 men across the formation. He'll take the shotgun snap, drops back. He's got to step up. The pass is incomplete over the head of the intended receiver, Juan Gonzalez, who was streaking down the middle of the field. Nate Ibarra was trailing him there. Gonzalez did have a step or so on his man, but the ball just overthrown by Abiel Cardona. And now the Mavericks find themselves in a 3rd and long, 3rd and 21 from there after the incompletion. Clock does stop, which favors, of course, the Titans, who are looking to get the ball back here before the end of the half. We've got 2:41 left before that happens. Ball is on the 47-yard line back here in Maverick territory, and the Mavericks have a 3rd and 21. Again, Cardona all by himself in the backfield, tight coverage on his receivers. Drops back, here comes the pressure, and that's a fumble on the sack, and it'll be recovered by the Titans back here at the 37-yard line. Cardona's signaling to the officials that, every time they've come in on him, they come in a little high on those tackles. The previous sack looked like maybe in the area of a face mask. This one for sure, he was dragged down. He came up without his helmet and looked at the officials and said, they're grabbing me high as they come in on these tackles. No call from the officials yet, though. 2:34 left here in the first half. And on the fumble recovery, the second turnover of the ball game for the Mavericks, the Titans are in position at the Maverick 37-yard line. Ramos with the pass attempt, not caught by Cifuentes, incomplete. Defensive pressure right in the face of the quarterback, Ramos, brought by number 28, Dante De Leon. Ramos had to get rid of that quickly, and Cifuentes didn't have enough time on that intended slant coming from his split right position to do anything with it. Clock stops on the incompletion with 2:28 left in the first half. Ball remains at the 37-yard line. Back to pass again is Ramos, looking over to the far side of the field. Incomplete, overthrows his intended receiver over on that side. It looks to be Aiden Vega, who was streaking down the far side. Cano Esquivel, number 88. And again, the clock stops on the incompletion, and so it is a 3rd and 10 now for the Titans from the Maverick 37-yard line. 2:21 left on the clock. Fabian Ramos in the shotgun. Will roll to his left. Look downfield. There comes the Maverick pressure. That ball is incomplete, but a flag on the play. A lot of handwork down there, and we'll see if this is a pass interference call all the way down there inside the 5. Alan Alonso was there on the coverage. Still no call from the official. There it is now. And the penalty will go against the Mavericks on that long pass attempt. That's going to put the ball over here at the 22-yard line now on the penalty. And the Mavericks, who thought for a moment that they might have stopped the Titans' offense here, now look to stop them again on 1st and 10. Ramos with the shotgun. Here is looks to be a false start penalty, some movement along the line before the snap. We'll get the call from the official. False start the call against the Titans. It'll cost them 5 yards. The ball is going to end up now back here at about the 27-yard line. At least it should. That's exactly where they'll spot it on the near hash mark. It's going to be a 1st and 15 now for the Titans after the penalty. 2:12 left in a half that was running quickly and then has kind of halted here towards the end. Ramos in the shotgun. There's the snap. Comes to this side. Caught by Cifuentes at the 25. And Cifuentes stiff arms a man as he gets inside the 20. Finally pushed out of bounds here on the near sideline by Esteban Hoffman. With under 2 minutes left now. The Titans do have 1 timeout left in the half. They're going to run the clock. The ball is at the 18-yard line. It's going to be in 2nd and 6. Man in motion here to the near side. Ramos tosses to him in the right flat, and the Maverick defense is right there to drag him out of bounds. That pass caught by Joseph Murillo, and the man there in on the tackle, Francisco Ramirez, junior defensive back for the Mavericks. Loss of a yard back here to the 19-yard line. And it brings up a 3rd and 7 now for the Titans with just under 90 seconds left in the first half. Ramos will take the snap. Going to keep it himself. He's got room right up the middle. Now goes left. Stiff arms a man at the 8, inside the 5. And finally brought down on the far side of the field at the 3-yard line, where it will be a 1st and goal for the Titans. Fabian Ramos, a big runner, a big quarterback, looked around, nobody was open, and then saw the middle part of the field just wide open for him, and he took advantage of it. Cut left as he reached the 5-yard line and finally dragged down at the 2. 1st and goal for the Titans there. Ramos in the backfield, hands off to Flores, gets stood up as he nears the 1, not in. Well, the official down on the near side is saying he's in, and that is a Titan touchdown. A 2-yard run for Fernando Flores adds 6 more points to make it Legacy 16, Mavericks nothing, with 48 seconds left here in the first half. With the point after attempt to follow from Jesse Zapata. Nate Ibarra is the holder. Zapata with the kick. It is through the uprights and good, and that'll make the score. Legacy 17, Mavericks 0, with 48 seconds left in the first half. Mavericks now awaiting the kickoff after that drive by the Legacy Titans. Left 48 seconds on the clock here in the first half. Titans convert on a fumble. Zapata with the kickoff. It's a short one. It's going to be fielded at the 31-yard line. That is Esteban Hoffman with the return, and Hoffman gets that to the 40-yard line. Where the Mavericks will set up shop with 44 seconds left. Again, the Mavericks do get the ball back first in the first half, and about 3 or 4 minutes ago, it looked like a real possibility that the Mavericks might be able to score and then get the ball back and try to score again coming out of the second half. But a fumble lost, a couple of sacks that moved the Mavericks back in the wrong direction, and now they find themselves down 17-0. Cardona from the shotgun, a little toss here to Jeremiah Robinson, who's got room, cuts towards the middle of the field, and is brought down his reach as he nears the 40-yard line at the 38. The line is scrimmage here. This drive began at the 34. And so that's a 4-yard gain, makes it a 2nd and 6. The clock keeps ticking. The Mavericks don't have any timeouts left, and they might not snap this ball again before the end of the half. They certainly don't need to. Cardona takes a shotgun snap, toss this side again to Jeremiah Robinson. He'll get to the 45-yard line, and that will be the last play of the first half. A 7-yard gain for Jeremiah Robinson ends the half for the Mavericks as they trail 17-0. The story of the first half, really very close game for that first quarter and a half of this ball game. The Mavericks hung tight. The Titans scored on their third possession of the ball game, a 3-play, 53-yard drive that ended on a 44-yard touchdown pass to Cifuentes down here. And the Titans were on the board then, and it stayed 7-0 for a while with the Maverick defense holding tight. They do have a fumble recovery, a fumble strip and recovery in this ball game, but they have not been able to capitalize it. They've been able to gain some yardage. Cardona's been doing a good job running out of the backfield, as has Jeremiah Robinson. But the offensive line, in crucial times when they need to hold up for Cardona to find receivers downfield, has not given him a whole lot of time, and we've seen a lot of sacks down there on the field by that Titan defense. The Mavericks will go into the locker room, regroup, and make adjustments. They will get the ball back first in the second half, and they will look to move the ball once the second half starts. We will be away and hand it over to our sponsors during halftime. About 20 minutes from now, folks, we'll see you back here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Ruben Valadez along with you here tonight. We want to wish my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., the best up in College Station, where he's got an Aggie class reunion. We'll also have some score updates for you from around the area, from the Mavericks district and from the Eagles district when we come back in the second half. Mavericks trail 17-0. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody, live here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Ruben Valadez along with you as we're getting ready to start the second half of action here from Southwest Legacy Stadium in San Antonio. Mavericks trail 17-0. They've gone into the locker room at halftime, try to make some adjustments. They will get the ball back first here in the second half after having won the toss and deferred for the second half. And as usual, Juan Gonzalez, Fernando Vasquez back there along with Salayandia to return this kick at about the 15-yard line. That looks to be Brian Cruz, actually, back there waiting for that kickoff along with Fernando Vasquez and Juan Gonzalez. Jesse Zapata will kick off from the left hash mark. Short kick that is fielded at about the 34-yard line, going backwards there, and over the shoulder catch by number 24, Dimas Perez. And Perez will set the Mavericks up now at the 35-yard line, rather, for their first drive of the second half. Just underway here. Of course, the Eagles played last night down in Laredo, beat LBJ 49-7. Cardona will be in the shotgun for the Mavericks. There is a straight handoff to Jeremiah Robinson, who tries the right side of the line, gets past a couple of Titan defenders, and is finally spun down as he nears the 40 at the 39-yard line. Gain of 4 yards on the carry for Jeremiah Robinson, just underway here in the second half. Around the Mavericks district, that's region District 13, 5A Division 1, Southwest beat South San 41-25. Southside beat the Martin Tigers 36-6. And at halftime, down in Laredo, Cigarroa leading 28-14 over the Nixon Mustangs. On a 2nd and 6, here come the Mavericks. Cardona from the shotgun. Again, the handoff to Jeremiah Robinson. And Robinson nears the line to get, which is a 45-yard line. They'll give him the 45. That'll be a new set of downs for the Mavericks, trailing 17-0, looking to get their first win of the season here in San Antonio, near the Von Army area up here in Bexar County, just up the road on 57 and I-35. We've seen Jeremiah Robinson early on here in the second half, running north and south, not exploiting the edges, but doing a good job of it so far. Cardona now in the shotgun again with Robinson on his left. He'll roll to that side, keep it himself. He's got room, gets around a couple of defenders, and goes into Titan territory just at the 48-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 49. Gain of 7 yards there. It's going to be a 2nd and 3rd now, and the Mavericks have opened up the second half for 3 consecutive runs, 2 by Jeremiah Robinson, and that last one there by Abiel Cardona. Sebastian Vasquez comes in with the play call for the Mavericks. 9:54 left in the third quarter. The Mavericks, with their first offensive possession of the second half, looking to get into the end zone. They put up 33 points last week against the Cigarroa Toros. Robinson follows his blocker on the left side of the line and is tripped up as he reaches the 47-yard line. Mark him down actually at the 48. And so it's going to be a 3rd and 3 now for the Mavericks. Line to reach is the 45. The ball is spotted at the 38 from our vantage point up here in the box. Ball on the near hash mark. Cardona will be in the shotgun. There's Jeremiah Robinson on his right. 1 receiver on either side of the formation. 2 blockers over on the right side of the line. Carmona will keep it himself. Gets north and south. There is a flag on the play thrown about 25 yards away from the field judge down here on the near sideline. We'll see what it is that he could have seen all the way from down here. With 8:54 left. It's an offsides that costs Legacy 5 yards, and it's a first down for the Mavericks now at the 41-yard line. Well, a good penalty for the Mavericks. I still don't know how that official all the way down here at the 25-yard line might have seen an offsides when the line judge didn't throw that flag, but the Mavericks will take those 5 yards, and they'll take the first down from the 41-yard line with under 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. Ball on the far hash mark. Cardona will come out with, again, 2 blockers over on the right side of the line and 1 man on either side of the formation. Now they'll move one of those wingmen over to the left side of the line. Cardona looks left, lets the pass go. Incomplete. Fernando Vasquez, the intended receiver. And that ball arrived at the same time as Richard Gonzalez, the junior defensive back for the Titans. Pass falls incomplete. Little slant there from Gonzalez, who was there in the, Vasquez rather, who was in the left split out wide. Pass falls incomplete. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now from the 41-yard line. 8.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ball on the far hash mark. Cardona in the shotgun has Jeremiah Robinson on his right. The handoff is to Jeremiah Robinson, comes all the way down here to the near side, and he'll get tripped up in the backfield by number 38, Oliver Mendoza, the linebacker, senior linebacker, for a loss of a yard to the 42. And now the Mavericks, as they were too often in the first half, find themselves in a 3rd and long situation. Ball is at the 42. The Mavericks need to get 11 yards to the 31-yard line for a first down. Cardona will come in with the play call. Under 8 minutes left now in the third quarter, and the Mavericks need to convert on a 3rd and 11. Cardona will roll right, looking downfield. He'll keep it himself. He's got running room. He's at the 40, at the 35, and will be pushed out of bounds over on the far sideline inside the 35, it looks like. No, they'll give him right to 35. So he's going to be about 4 yards shy of a first down, and no doubt the Maverick offense will stay on the field in this portion of the field in Titan territory at the 35-yard line, and it will be now a 4th and 4. Good job there by Cardona of seeing some room open up in front of him. Decided to put the ball down and take it himself. And now a 4th down and 4 from the 35-yard line. Out comes the Maverick offense to try to convert. They do have one fourth down conversion already in this ball game. Cardona in the shotgun. Comes to this side, looking to follow his blockers and turn the corner at the 30. Still on his feet, 20. And as he nears the 15-yard line, he will be escorted out of bounds by the Titan defense. Parabiel Cardona with a good job on the ground, getting a first down for the Mavericks in the red zone now at the 16-yard line. Cardona came out of that back onto the field, limping just ever so slightly. We'll keep an eye on that down on the field. 7:23 left in the third quarter. Abiel Cardona has the Mavericks with a first down here at the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks from there. Robinson looking for room on the right side. Shoulders a defender away from him. The Titans are saying the ball is on the ground, but the officials are going to call Jeremiah Robinson down there at the 15-yard line. He'll gain a yard. Be 2nd and 9 coming up now for the Mavericks. Under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. This is still the Mavericks' first possession of the second half. Legacy hasn't had the ball yet here, about halfway through the third quarter. Cardona on a 2nd and 9 from the 15-yard line. Will keep it himself, try to follow his blockers and find some running room on the left side of the line. Nothing doing there. He'll be brought down for a couple of yards, a loss of a couple of yards back here to the original line of scrimmage. One official here is on the 17. The other one on the far side of the field is at the 16. That's been happening all night. Now they get that together. And back to the 17. And again, another 3rd and 11 for the Mavericks as they faced in the earlier drive. There, I believe, is Abiel Cardona down on the ground at about the 20-yard line. We mentioned it on the previous play where he got the first down, that he had come back onto the field looking, maybe favoring a leg coming back down. We said we'd keep an eye on it, and now Cardona is down there at about the 20-yard line. 17-0 is the Titan lead over the Mavericks as the Maverick training staff takes a look at quarterback Abiel Cardona down on the field. .6:14 left in the third quarter. Abiel Cardona has come off the field over on the far side, being helped out by the Maverick training staff. We saw Gabriel Valderas, junior quarterback, warming up over on the far sideline, and we'll see if that's Valderas who comes in to commandeer the Maverick offense. It is indeed Gabriel Valderas who will bring out the Maverick offense, facing a 3rd and 11 from the 17-yard line. Valderas in the shotgun, drops back, looks left, flags, put a stop to the play there. And it's going to be 5 yards against the Mavericks here, I believe, on a false start. Another injury down on the field. Juan de la Rosa, senior linebacker, who's been causing trouble for the Maverick offense all night long. Again, something happened on that previous play, and he was coming off the field gingerly and then just went down to the ground at about the 26-yard line. And this will give Gabriel Valderas some time to talk over on the far side of the field with his coaches about the upcoming 3rd and 16 after the penalty. The ball is at the 22-yard line. They're taking a look at Juan de la Rosa down on the field. They're at about the 26-yard line. Again, he has been in the Maverick backfield a lot this game. Senior linebacker. They're taking a look at his right leg there. And the training staff still huddled around him at about the 26-yard line. He will finally be on his feet and try to make his way off the field here on the near sideline. Very, very gingerly. You hope the best for that young man and hope that he's going to be okay. One of the defensive standouts for the Titans in this ballgame. De La Rosa is still not off the field. The Mavericks are ready to snap the ball, but we've still got an injured player technically on the field down here at about the 32-yard line. Now De La Rosa will come off the field, and Gabriel Valderas has a 3rd and 16 to go from the 22-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll take the snap, looks right, lets the pass go. Left-handed quarterback is Valderas, and that pass is tipped, very nearly intercepted at about the 10-yard line. Intended there for Juan Gonzalez. In on the coverage was Nate Ibarra, and that'll bring up a 4th and 16 now, and the Mavericks will bring out the field goal kicking unit on 4th and long. On the incompletion, the clock stops at 6:04 here in the 3rd quarter. Again, Legacy still hasn't had the ball here in the second half. This is still the Mavericks' first drive of the second half, and they've kept it for about close to 6 minutes now. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt from Andres Rodriguez. The kick is on its way, and it will fall short. So the ball will go over on downs now after that missed field goal attempt. And a long drive started at the top of the second half, all the way back there at the 39-yard line for the Maverick, comes up empty, and the Titans now have the ball for their first drive of the second half. 5:57 left in the 3rd quarter. Titans will take over at the 22-yard line. Fabian Ramos in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Flores. Flores gets stuck at the 25-yard line by number 43, Luis Flores, who himself now is down on the ground back here at about the 18-yard line, getting up under his own power. Did a good job of running into the ball carrier Flores and stopping him right there at the 25-yard line. A gain of only 3 yards. A 2nd and 7 coming up now for the Titans with about 5.5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the near hash mark. Fabian Ramos in the shotgun. Looks to the left flat. Pass is caught there. And the Maverick defense tries to converge quickly on the receiver, Joseph Murillo, but Murillo evades a tackle or two and gets across the 25 to the 27-yard line. A gain of only 2 yards on that play now will bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Titans from the 27-yard line. 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. The Maverick defense trying to hold and force a punt here on 3rd down. Ramos from the shotgun will take the snap. Here comes the Maverick pressure. Let the pass go. Incomplete, and there's no one in the area. There's the flag now for what should be intentional grounding there. We get the call from the officials as Ramos just heaved that ball to no one in particular. There was no one in the area down here at about the 35, 40-yard line. Ramos was under pressure by the Maverick defense, and we'll see if this is indeed an unintentional grounding penalty on third down. And so on comes the punting unit for the Titans on 4th and 5. They'll Jeremiah Cifuentes will be punting. 2 men back here to receive for the Mavericks at their own 40-yard line. That's Jonathan Salayandia over on the far side. And Alan Alonso here on the side nearest to us. Now we've got timeout called down on the field by Legacy. And that might be to think about this 4th down player. They might have just been running out of time on the play clock. 4:40 left in the third quarter. Mavericks trail 17-0. Back here with 4:40 left in the third quarter. The Titans are about to punt. 2 return men back here, Alan Alonso and Jonathan Salayandia for the Mavericks. Here comes a rush, very close to that punt. A high one that'll hit in Maverick territory and take a good Titan roll inside the 40-yard line to the 39. That's where the Mavericks will set up shop. Good job by the Maverick defense of holding there on Legacy's first drive of the second half, and they still have plenty of time to the Mavericks here in the third quarter to get some points on the board and make this an interesting game. 4:26 left in the third quarter. The Mavericks will start at their own 39-yard line, the exact same place they started the drive before. The only difference now, junior Gabriel Valderas is in command of this offense from the shotgun. He's got Jeremiah Robinson on his right. 2 receivers over to the far side, one split out wide left here. Here's the toss to Jeremiah Robinson. He'll be met in the backfield, gets past the initial tackle, and it moves forward all the way to the 46-yard line over on the far side of the field before being taken out of bounds. The 43 now is where the officials are marking it. It'll be a 2nd and 6 now for the Mavericks on a 4-yard carry by Jeremiah Robinson. The first action for Gabriel Valderas here tonight, filling in for Abiel Cardona, who's off on the sideline. 3:50 left in the third quarter, ball on the far hash mark. And Valderas again will hand off to Jeremiah Robinson, who quickly has a full head of steam behind his line, and he'll get to the 45-yard line, a gain of 2 yards. 3rd and 4 coming up now for the Mavericks. And now, of course, with Cardona's leadership and experience off of the field, not contributing on the field, the Mavericks are going to put a heavy load, you would expect, on the shoulders of Jeremiah Robinson, their veteran running back. 3:14 left in the third quarter. Here's a 3rd and 4 from the 45-yard line for the Mavericks. Valderas in the shotgun will take the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, lets the pass go. It's caught at the 48-yard line by Patrick Solis, and Solis gets the Mavericks a first down here to the 42-yard line. Now they're saying it's Titan ball over on the far side of the field. We've got a bunch of stuff to figure out down there. There's a flag down on the field. The Titans ran this way, celebrating some kind of recovery and saying that they had the ball. And there is a flag sitting right there. It's going to be a roughing the passer penalty. And so the Mavericks should be going from right to left. The official took that ball and went the wrong way with it. at the beginning, and he was already back here at the 40, and the Mavericks are telling him, wait a minute, we've got to be going to that side on that roughing the passer penalty. And after all of that, the ball will end up at the 40-yard line. Great job there by Patrick Solis of sitting in the zone. We've seen that play before. Arandu Pace got a first down early on in this ball game on a play like that. This time Patrick Solis came up big. Left-handed quarterback in now, by the way, for the Mavericks. Ball is at the 40-yard line. Mavericks have a 1st and 10 from there after the penalty. Here's a keeper for Valderas, who will get a yard to the 41-yard line, grabbing onto his foot there. It's number 32, Anthony Hernandez, the linebacker. That's actually number 24, Leroy Gutierrez, with the tackle. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Mavericks after that carry by Valderas. And there's a Maverick down at about the 41-yard line. Ball is at the 39. And while they take a look at that young man, we'll remind you that the Titans have a 17-0 lead here with 2:23 left in the third quarter. .209 left in the third quarter. And the Mavericks have a 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. Valderas is in the backfield all by himself. He'll roll to his left, looks downfield. The pass is caught. Oh, incomplete down here at the 31-yard line. There are 2 flags on the play. Arandu Pace was in the area, and Richard Gonzalez was all over him on the coverage. Whatever it was, both the field judge and the line judge down here both saw it as that ball arrived there for Arandu Pace. We'll wait to get the call from the official. It's a 3-score ball game late in the third quarter. 17-0 is the Titan lead. And our referee is telling us that this is a pass interference call against number 27, Richard Gonzalez. And that's going to give the Mavericks, should at least, waiting for them to step off there. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Valderas, high snap, brings it down, looks right. There's the pass, and it is caught at the 21-yard line over on the far side of the field. Going backwards and making the catch is Juan Gonzalez. Very near to a first down there at the 21-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 1 from the 20. Gonzalez caught that pass again with a defender in the area and kind of backpedaling. Good job by Valderas to get it to him there. Valderas in the backfield all by himself. Now he'll bring Juan Gonzalez in motion. The little flip forward is to him. Tries to get north and south down here on this near sideline, and he's going to get swallowed up at the 22-yard line by the Titan defense. They thought they could get Gonzalez on the edge. That brings up now a 3rd and 3 For the Maverick offense, Gonzalez, the man who caught the pass on the previous play, tried to swing around here, and the defense strung him out. A minute 15 left here in the third quarter. The Mavericks face a 3rd and 3 on a drive that started at their own 39-yard line about 3.5 minutes ago. Valderas with the handoff to Jeremiah Robinson, looking for the first down, still grinding, trying to get there. It's going to depend on the spot. For the moment, it looks like the 19 is where they'll spot him, and it looks like he's going to have a first down there. Again, we mentioned it earlier with Cardona out of the ball game. The Mavericks are relying on Jeremiah Robinson and that senior leadership, that veteran leadership, to move them down the field. And so far, Valderas and Robinson have made a good backfield combo for the Mavericks. 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Mavericks trail 17-0, but they are on the move here just inside the 20-yard line. Little toss to Jeremiah Robinson this way, has a blocker in front of him. Flags come in from the field judge right as Robinson got north and south. That's in the area of a hold, it would appear, and it might cost the Mavericks 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 19 seconds left in the third quarter. The clock does stop on the penalty flag, and now the referee will tell us that it is a personal foul, a face mask against the Titans, as Robinson was headed north and south, and so that's going to give the Mavericks a 1st and goal now at the 6-yard line. Clock is ticking down with 13 seconds left. We'll see if the Mavericks can get off one more play here before the end of the third quarter. Valderas with Robinson on his right. The handoff is to Robinson, tries the left side of the line, spins around as he gets inside the 5-yard line to the 4. That will be the end of the third quarter. When we come back, the Mavericks are going to have a 2nd and goal from inside the 5-yard line. As we start the fourth quarter, the Mavericks trail by 17, but they're knocking on the door at the 4-yard line. We switch sides of the field. Mavericks now going from left to right. The Mavericks are 4 yards away from getting into the end zone and making this a 2-score game. Valderas in the shotgun. He's got Arandu Pace in the backfield with him. Head coach Eric Villaseñor is out onto the field talking to the referee. It's a timeout called by the Mavericks early on here in the fourth quarter. Head coach Eric Villaseñor came out and was talking about something with the officials. And I don't know what that was about, but they've had to call a timeout here, and that leaves them now with one timeout for the rest of the ball game as we get the fourth quarter underway. Mavericks trail 17-0. Ball at the 4-yard line. The Mavericks are down to one timeout left in the ball game. Still haven't had a snap here in the fourth quarter. Valderas in the shotgun. High snap, takes it, gives it to Jeremiah Robinson, and he's pulled down for a loss of a yard to the 5. And it'll be a 3rd and goal now from there for the Mavericks as the defense keyed in on that play. Again, that snap was a little off to the side and high for Valderas. By the time he was able to put it in the breadbasket for Jeremiah Robinson, the defense was on top of the play. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. The Mavericks trying to make this a 2-score game, trying to get into the end zone. Valderas in the shotgun, takes the snap. Ball is on the ground. Valderas has to pick it up from there, and they're going to lose another yard back here to the 6-yard line. And on a 4th and goal, we'll see if the Mavericks will try to get 3 points on the board and try to make this a 2-touchdown game with 11:03 left in the ball game. Andres Rodriguez would be the kicker, and he is coming out. They're going to set that down. And it looks like the 13-yard line. This will be a 23-yard field goal attempt for Andres Rodriguez. The quarterback, Valderas, is the holder. Rodriguez has missed one kick already in this ball game. Whoa, that's plenty of movement down there. For the moment, it's a blocked field goal, but about 3 or 4 defensive linemen down there came across the line before the snap, and we expect this to be called an offsides that should give the Mavericks half the distance. We'll wait for the call here. There's the offsides call against the Titans. They're going to move the ball closer. The ball now will be at the 3-yard line, it looks like, and the Mavericks will come out now to attempt a shorter kick. They're going to put this down at the 9-yard line. It'll be a 19-yard field goal attempt for Andres Rodriguez, the senior kicker for the Mavericks. There's a kick on its way, and it is no good. And so with 10:29 left on the clock, the Mavericks are unable to put 3 points on the board on another missed field goal attempt. And the score remains Titans 17, Mavericks 0. Here's a handoff to Flores to start this drive, and he spins around, and he'll get to the 26-yard line on that carry on a drive that starts at the 20-yard line for the Titans after the missed field goal. As we reach about 10 minutes or so left here in the ball game with the Mavericks down 17-0. They'll spot this ball down at the 26 after that whirligig run from Flores. And the Titans will be back to the line on a 2nd and 5. Again, a handoff for Flores. He's met by the Maverick defense at the line of scrimmage. They'll give him forward progress, it looks like, to the 27 and not much further. It'll be a 3rd and 4 coming up for the Titans, who, of course, are in no particular hurry now to get anything done here. They're happy to let the clock wind down and grind out the rest of the ball game. The Mavericks only have one timeout left. They can only stop the clock once more as we head to about 9.5 minutes left in the ball game. The Mavericks have come close in this game, and they've been able to move the ball, just have not been able to put it through the uprights or in the end zone. Here comes the run blitz for the Mavericks. It works as they hold up Flores at the line of scrimmage, the 27. And a 4th and 3 now coming up for the Titans. But again, with 9 minutes left in the ball game, up by 3 scores, Legacy in no particular hurry here to move the ball, and they are happy to just run time off the clock here in what's left of the ball game. Cifuentes will come on to punt. And two Mavericks back here at the 40-yard line. Jonathan Salayandia and Alan Alonso await this punt. It's going to be fielded by Salayandia at the 40, looking for blockers in front of him, runs into a cover man at the 42-yard line, and that's as far as the Maverick returner is able to go. The Mavericks will start now from the 42. This will be the third drive for Gabriel Valderas, who came into the ball game in the third quarter for Abiel Cardona, who left the ball game with an injury. Valderas has done well, particularly passing, left-handed quarterback for the Mavericks, has been able to move the ball. But again, the Mavericks have been so close. They had a first and goal on that last drive and unable to get the ball into the end zone. High snap. Valderas drops back, lets the pass go. It's incomplete at the feet of the intended receiver at the 48-yard line at undue pace. 2nd and 10 coming up. Pace got hit hard there at the 48-yard line as he was waiting for that pass. 8:17 left in the ballgame. Clock stops on the incompletion. The Mavericks have a 2nd and 10 now from the 42-yard line. Ball is here near hash mark. Valderas is going to have three receivers over to the far side. One man split out wide right, and Jeremiah Robinson on his left. Pumps that way. Here comes the blitz. Valderas never saw them coming, and he's going to be sacked back here inside the 35. Three Titan defenders converged on him. Number 26, Mark Rodriguez there. Also number 34, Juan de la Rosa, who was injured earlier, is back in the game. You know, that's one of the things you do with an inexperienced quarterback. You send him pressure where he's not expecting it. And this time, from the blind side, again, Valderas is a left-handed quarterback. He looks to his left naturally. And that blitz for a loss all the way back here to the 34-yard line. 3rd and 18 now. Here's a pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Fernando Vasquez, near midfield. And Vasquez now is down on the ground. He's trying to stand up there, but he's down at about midfield. And the Maverick coaching staff will come on to take a look at that. Number 14 was in on the tackle, Elijah Granado. 7:29 left in the ball game. Mavericks trail 17-0. 7:29 left in the ball game. Valderas will stay in to get this punt off. It's on its way, and it will take a good Maverick bounce around Cifuentes, who's got to be careful to stay away from it. The ball will be downed inside the 20 at the 19-yard line after a 3 and out for the Mavericks. 7:15 left in the ball game. The Titans in control here, 3-score lead, 17-0. All of those scores coming in the first half for Legacy. On comes the offense now from the 19-yard line, ball within the near hash mark. The Mavericks will have 2 more games after this one. Get you that schedule here after this play. Here's a handoff to Flores, who tries to cut up at the 20. He's got room, 25-30, finally upended as he crosses the 30 by Alan Alonso. And Flores gets the Titans a first down out here to the 28-yard line. Long game, and the Maverick defense now looking for a breather. Here's another handoff to Flores on the right side of the line. Gets another chunk of yards there, now to the 42. There's another Maverick down at about the 30-yard line. And again, the training staff will come out and take a look at him. 6:31 left in the ballgame. Mavericks trail 17-0. Back with you live now, 6:31 left in the game. There's been a personal foul called against the Titans, and that will move the ball back here to the 22-yard line. And so now the clock will start ticking again with 6:31 left. The referee tells us that's a personal foul on one of the offensive linemen for a chop block down there. So now it'll be a 2nd and 25 after the penalty for the Titans. Fabian Ramos puts a man in motion. He'll take the snap, setting up a screen for Flores, and Flores drops that. Incomplete. Boy, Flores had managed to get a hold of that. He had nothing but green grass in front of him down here on the near flat. And the incompletion stops the clock with 6:12 left. It'll be a 3rd and 25 now for the Titans. After tonight's game, the Mavericks will be facing the Martin Tigers down there in Eagle Pass, and then the Southside Cardinals up here in San Antonio to close out the season. Ramos from the shotgun will roll to his right, looking downfield for someone open. Pass is incomplete, down on the ground. Good job on the defensive pressure. And now there's a flag late from the referee as the Maverick defense was moving away from Ramos, who was down on the ground. And we'll see what the referee calls here. Dead ball foul, an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Mavericks. And that must have been something somebody said as they were walking away from Ramos. Whoever brought him down there in the backfield, I think there was some conversation going on there. The referee heard it because it was a late flag post-play. And the Titans now, courtesy of that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, have a first down at the 37-yard line. We have seen things down on the field get a little chippy late in the ball game. Flores with the carry now will get it to the 38. A gain of a yard on that carry for him brings up 2nd and 9, and we see a little pushing and shoving continuing down there at the end of each of the plays now. 5:45 left in the ball game. Mavericks trail 17-0 as the Titans on this drive looking to just eat up the clock and put an end to this ball game. Here's a little counter attempt. Ball was on the ground there, but it's picked off by Murillo, the ball carrier. And they're going to say that he had his knee on the ground back there when he reached up to scoop that ball. 5:26 left in the ball game. They're going to mark Murillo down where he bent over to pick up the ball at the 42-yard line, the 38-yard line rather. And it's a 3rd and 9 now. 5:26 left in the ball game. Ramos from the shotgun. Looks to this side. Long pass down the near sideline intended for Cifuentes. Overthrown as Cifuentes had a step on Jonathan Salayandia streaking down the near sideline. But the pass is out of bounds and incomplete. The clock stops with 5:18 left before the end of the ball game. On comes the punting team for the Titans. Jeremiah Cifuentes will punt off. And Salayandia and Alan Alonso will be back here to receive, standing at about their own 30-yard line. Under 6 minutes left in the ball game. High snap. He's got to climb the ladder to get it. He'll get the punt off. And Salayandia fair catches that at the 27-yard line. You've got to hand it to the punter, Jeremiah Cifuentes, who's also a receiver on offense for the Titans. Had to go way up in the air to bring that punt down, and then had the presence of mind to actually kick it. So the Mavericks will have the ball at the 27-yard line with 5:09 left here in the ball game, trying to put the ball into the end zone. Titan defense pitching a shutout here so far after the Mavericks scored 33 points last week against the Cigarroa Toros. Man in motion here. It's a keeper by Gabriel Valderas, and Valderas manages to get back to the line of scrimmage, the 27, and no further. 2nd and 10 coming up now for the Mavericks. Of course, the big question moving forward now for the last 2 games of the season will be the health of starting quarterback senior Abiel Cardona. Here's the score update for you from around the Eagles District 36A. Alexander leads United South 20-6. And Del Rio and United will be playing tomorrow down in Laredo. Of course, the Eagles won 49-7 last night. Valderas with another keeper has room and is brought down near the 30-yard line by Jose Tellez, the junior defensive lineman. They'll spot the ball at the 29. After that carry by Valderas, another 2 yards will make it now a 3rd and 8 for the Mavericks with 4:09 left in the ball game. And we'll see if Valderas uses his arm here to try to convert on a 3rd and 8. No one in the backfield with Valderas here. Pumps left. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to be sacked back here at the 22-yard line. The Titan defense led there by Juan de la Rosa, who's been a terror on defense all night long and has lived in the Maverick backfield. That sack brings it all the way back to the 22-yard line. A loss of 7 on the sack. 4th and 15 coming up now for the Mavericks, and they will bring on their punting unit. The Titans are going to have good field position here. Jeremiah Cifuentes going out to receive this punt, standing at around his own 45-yard line. 3:17 left in the ball game. Valderas will stay in the game to punt. On its way, it'll hit in Maverick territory at the 45 and roll eventually just barely into Legacy territory at the 48-yard line, and that is where the Titans will set up shop. And if this drive is anything like their past 3 in this second half, it'll be 3 yards and a cloud of dust, as they used to say, as the Titans are looking to just run out the clock here, up by 17 against the Mavericks. Ball is on the near hash mark. Fabian Ramos will come in, although it looks like this is Flores now again from the Wildcat. It is Flores who keeps the ball right up the middle. He goes, still on his feet at the 35, cuts right, 25, 20, 15 at the 10. Salayandia is the last man who can get him, and he does. Jonathan Salayandia will bring him down inside the 5-yard line at the 3. Says Fernando Flores there in the Wildcat formation with 2.5 minutes left, takes that right up the middle and got past the defense, finally brought down by Salayandia inside the 5 with 2:24 left. They've got a 1st and goal. A long run for Flores there. Again, Flores from the Wildcat will take the snap, head right up the middle of the field, still spinning and on his feet looking to get in, and he does for a legacy touchdown with 2:15 left in the game. Some insurance points for the Legacy Titans. 23-0 is the score for the moment, with the point after attempt coming up. I don't think the Titans expected to be able to bust a run like that. Their quarterback was out of the ball game. They were in that Wildcat formation, which had worked for them previously in this game, and Flores just gashed the Maverick defense for that long run and was able to get in on a second effort from the 3. Jesse Zapata in for the point after. The kick is on its way, and it is good. The score with 2:15 left in the game, Titans 24, Mavericks 0. $24-0 is the Titan lead here in the waning moments of this ball game. The Mavericks are about to get the ball back after the 3-yard touchdown run by Fernando Flores. Short kick. It's going to be fielded at the 35-yard line and all the way to the 37, to the 39 rather, is the return for Esteban Hoffman, who's done that a couple of times already in this ball game. Mavericks will start at the 39. And again, you've just got to be careful now at this point in the game. You don't want to get anybody hurt, and it is getting a little chippy down on the field. They're going to add some yardage here at the end of the run. So the Mavericks will end up at the 44-yard line. First and 10 from the 44 with 2:09 left here in the fourth quarter. Valderas will hand off to Arandu Pace. Pace hits the line hard and then moves the pile forward as he nears midfield. They'll call him down at the 49-yard line. 2nd and 5 coming up from there after that run from Arandu Pace. A minute 52. The Mavericks do have one timeout left in the game, should they choose to use it here with under 2 minutes left in the ball game. Valderas again will be in the backfield. Valderas takes the snap, hands off again to Arandu Pace, who's got room, and he'll get a Maverick first down inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Some good running for Arandu Pace here at the end of the ball game. We're just 90 seconds away from the final whistle. Mavericks have come into San Antonio looking for a victory here against the Legacy Titans, who were 3-4 coming into the game overall, and 3-2 in district. This will move their total to 4-2 in district. Pace again with the carry. They'll give them forward progress to the line of scrimmage, the 44. So 2nd and 10 from there. As now we are at exactly a minute left in this ball game. Again, the Mavericks will have 2 games left in the season against the Martin Tigers and the Southside Cardinals. After this one, we'll look to see about the health of several of their starters. Long pass intended for Vasquez on the far side, incomplete. Fernando Vasquez was waiting for it at about the 25-yard line. Elijah Granado there on the coverage, batted that away. The clock stops with 32 seconds showing. Mavericks have a 3rd and 10 now. A lot of this starting backfield this year for the Mavericks will be moving on, of course, next year, primarily Jeremiah Robinson and Abiel Cardona, the 2 seniors, along with, of course, Patrick Solis, Alan Bielmar, and Pace, all of those guys that made the playoffs and carried the Mavericks 2 deep into the playoffs last year, will be departing at the end of this year. Play clock is at 36. Game clock is at 17. The ball does not need to be snapped again, as it is at the 42-yard line now. Just under 10 seconds. We'll see if the Mavericks try to get one more playoff here before the end of the ball game. Down to 2. There is the snap. Arandu Pace with the carry, and he will remain on his feet inside the 35, and that will be the last play of the ball game as the Mavericks come into town here into San Antonio looking for their first victory of the season. And the Legacy Titans will move on with a 4-2 district record. The Mavericks will go back to Eagle Pass and attempt to get their first victory of the season next week against the Laredo Martin Tigers. See the friendship handshakes down on the field right at the 50-yard line. Of course, we'll be seeing you this week at the prediction show down there in Eagle Pass, and we'll also have action for you for both the Mavericks and the Eagles this week. The Mavericks against the Tigers, the Martin Tigers, and the Eagles against the United South Panthers. We do want to take some time here at the end of the program to wish the Thundering Maverick Band the best of luck at area marching competition. They'll be up here in San Antonio tomorrow morning. They'll perform at 9 o'clock in the morning over at DW Rutledge Stadium in Converse. The Maverick Band, of course, a fine tradition, and they have twice now been close to advancing past area and on to state. Those kids will be up very early tomorrow morning to make the trip up here to Converse for a 9 o'clock performance, and they hope to move on past area to state. We wish all of them, we were with them this morning, and we wish all of them the best of luck tomorrow. We hope they play well, they march well, and they have the support of everyone from our community down in Eagle Pass. We want to thank Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Maverick County Hospital District, Eddie Morales for State Representative, Ancida Eagle Pass Storage, Border Federal Credit Union, Knickerbocker, Heredia, Salinas and Salinas, and Nevada's Law for bringing you these broadcasts here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Again, we want to wish my partner Morris Lipson Jr. the best up in College Station. I hope the Aggies win tomorrow. Hey, it's homecoming up in Columbia tomorrow as the Missouri Tigers face Vanderbilt, and we hope that the Tigers come out with a win tomorrow. Final score from here in San Antonio, Legacy 24, Maverick 0. Thank you so much for joining us. For my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., my name is Ruben Valadez. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.